All right, Matt, you ready?
I think so.
Here we go, buddy.
Here we go.
Welcome to Dad Boss, Matt.
No worries. Cheers. Good to be here.
So, yeah, it's been a while since the last podcast for myself.
Yep.
Actually, the last one we did was last year, which was
That's
crazy.
a while ago.
Yeah, there's been a lot happening at Carbon Offroad.
There is a lot going on.
There's a heap of stuff going on, and you can even hear it going on in the background still. We're setting up the new site. This is the new office here in Coomera. It's looking pretty good.
It is.
Mate, while you're here, tell me how we know each other.
Oh, through the four-wheel drive industry.
Yeah.
You used to be located down at San Remo when it was KMP. I used to have my own four-wheel drive business going up GOR 4x4. It's just through the four-wheel drive industry.
So what are you doing here, mate? What are you doing up here in Queensland?
Road trip up to Queensland, mate, pinching Amarok.
Yeah, you're pinching my car.
I am pinching your car.
That's I'm a bit sad about that actually.
Pinching your car and a bit of recovery gear.
Yeah. Look, how good is this, guys? Matt Johnson is our new Carbon Offroad sales rep for Victoria. He's been up here for the last week, hanging out, and he's only here for one more day. So I figured I'm gonna grab him. We're gonna do a podcast. Let's get to know Matt a little bit and find out about his background. Matt and I have known each other for quite a while. Yeah. And on and off, you've been one of our customers for a while, and you've been in the industry, you know, all the ins and outs. So we're really excited to have you on board. So I figured it'd be a bloody great opportunity right now. Smash out, a couple of quick questions, and give us a bit of an insight. So we'll put this out to all the dealers and get you, get them to know you a little bit before you rock up, which is, pretty cool. So. Couple of quick questions, mate. Where did you grow up?
Oh, in Melbourne, South Oakley. That's where we were born.
Yep.
Family, sort of mum, dad, two sisters, one brother.
Yeah.
So I grew up there.
Yeah. And where were you in the
I'm
brother
the
sister?
Eldest.
You're the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh.
The eldest.
Wow. That's yeah, see, I'm the oldest as well, so, but I only had one sister.
Yeah.
What was that like for you growing up, mate, having the younger brothers and sisters?
Oh, it was all right. We predominantly got along all right.
Yeah.
But,
pretty cruisy.
Yeah, pretty cruisy.
Yeah.
You always have your moments.
Yeah.
No, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, that was good.
Was there anything, were there any sort of, so how many you had? How many brothers and sisters?
One brother, two sisters.
One brother, two sisters.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Did they look up to you? Did you? Were you like the go-to person when they couldn't go to their mum and dad?
In a way, because me and my brother go and do something, and the other two would want to tag along as well.
Oh yeah.
So you could.
Did you
get rid of them.
Was it ever boys against girls type?
Yeah.
Thing?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So, and so obviously you went to school in Oakley.
Yeah, East Bentley, South Oakley. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's all right.
Yeah, I spent a bit of time down that way as well a while back.
Yeah.
Pretty cool area, pretty good area. Pretty busy these days though.
It's out of control these days.
Yeah.
Just too busy.
Yeah. When did you were you what were you like at school? Were you a bit of the quiet guy, or a bit of the class bully, or
in between? I liked sport back then. I was actually fit and able to run really quickly.
Yeah.
So I was into me sport
back
then, but wasn't a bully, wasn't shy.
Yeah.
I didn't like school.
Nah.
I was never good at school, so I left school at year 10 and always wanted to be a motor mechanic and play with cool shit.
Yeah. So that was, something that you always had a passion for?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And when was that? When did you leave? What year was that, mate?
Year 10.
Year 10. What actual year was that? Was that in the 80s or something? Or?
It would have been late 90s.
Late 90s,
I qualified in 1999.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I can't even remember what year.
Yeah, so 96-ish
about
maybe.
there, around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple of years older than me then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And so after that, like obviously, you know, you like your sports and you like your outdoors, I'm guessing. And what about four-wheel drives, exposure to four-wheel drives? Like, did mum and dad have one? Or
No, mum and dad didn't. Dad took us out camping. Like, that was a big thing of his. He'd always ensure that we went out sort of as a family group. Mum and dad took us away once or twice a year, but then dad took us boys out.
Yeah. Just weekend trips.
Yeah, weekend trips, camping. One of my cousins was into four-wheel drives.
Yeah.
And I just always thought they were cool.
Yeah. What were the what were some of the campsites you used to go to?
Woods Point, around Woods Point.
Yeah.
Jamison.
Yeah.
Around the Cola.
Yep.
So even though it didn't have full driving, you'd still get up Horseyard Flat and all that.
Yeah.
So always up there,
Always
out
out in the
Dargo
bush.
a couple of times.
Yep. All the sort of lower high country areas.
All where you can get
Beautiful.
two-wheel drive into.
Yep.
We still go up there because just nice cruisy trips.
Yeah. Something special about the high country, isn't there?
It's magnificent.
It's beautiful, mate.
Yeah. Bit of everything.
That's something I really miss actually about being up here and not just having that easy access to get out there. It is a special area. Yeah. And so you did your apprenticeship, motor mechanic.
Yep.
And then you know, that journey through. How did you? Where did you end up? Like, obviously, you moved out further southeast and stuff like that. What was the journey to you know, starting your own business?
Oh, I wanted a seat change. I was working in a Nissan dealership at the time, and I just had enough of, I don't know, like me, by that stage, my brother and I both had four-wheel drives.
Yep.
And and a couple of mates had four-wheel drives by that stage, and it was nearly a weekend thing. You know, as you know, back then, it was a lot easier. You'd have a couple of mates look at a map and go, we're going there this weekend. So that's what we did.
Yeah, sweet.
And I was always way four-wheel driving with my brother. I wanted a bit of a seat change, and I ended up moving down to Gippsland for a few years.
Yep.
I can't remember the exact years.
Whereabouts in Gippy?
Oh, it was around you'd say around back of Mafra. Boysdale.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yep.
I was out there for a few years. It was over 5 years. Can't remember the exact years, but it was over 5 years.
Yeah.
Started working on a couple of veggie farms out there till they find out you're a motor mechanic, and, and then there's breaking down cruiser out in the back paddock that you're throwing a heap of tools in a quad bike and
off you go.
Told go fix.
Yeah.
So you learn a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And it is definitely not a lie that farmers fix their vehicles with fencing wire.
Always have to have a handy roll of that kicking around, eh?
I tried starting the business up down in Stratford, but it was the wrong time down there.
Yeah.
And that's when I moved back to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then sort of worked for a couple of people back then, and then I just reopened my business.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a journey. You learn a lot.
For sure. Working out on the veggie farms and out the back of Mafra there. Yeah. I actually worked out that way as well for a few years prior to the four-wheel drive industry. It's a bloody great area. Did you get out bush much while you were there?
It was great. So
what was the rig? What were you driving?
I had an old GQ.
Yeah.
1990 GQ, TD42.
Yep.
Aftermarket turbo, intercooler, 3-inch lift. It was back in the days where you'd generally out above the front top of the front shock and put the 79 series shocks in the front and run a real basic setup. I was lucky enough to live out the back of Boysdale, not far from bottom of Marathon Road. So
straight into the bush.
Yeah, straight up Marathon Road to the top of basically Billy Gates and straight down and you know,
good times.
It was sensational times.
Yeah.
A few night drives while you're up there because you can.
Yeah, and it's pretty hard to go. Like, I'm not really a Nissan guy. Most people that know me know that.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, but it's hard to go past the GQ.
Yeah.
3-inch lift, TD42, turbo upgrade.
Yeah.
Did you do anything to the pump? Just wind it?
It was basically
stock
standard.
Yeah.
Couldn't go anymore.
Yeah.
It was wound up.
Yeah.
Like as far as it could go.
Yeah. What sort of tyres were you running?
I just the They're 285, 75, 16s, just the pro comps.
Yeah.
When they were around,
Mate, they were the Duck's guts back then.
They were the best tyres.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Everyone ran them.
Yeah.
Because of the quality.
And 33s, like, we're talking probably what? Early 2000s?
Yeah, early 2000s. Yeah.
33s was probably a decent sized tyre back then as well.
Yep.
I reckon from then on, everyone started pushing the limits a bit more. They, 35s, and people were running 37s. Then the Treps
40s.
came out, and everyone was running 37-inch Treps.
Yep.
But 33s were a good all-round touring tyre for the high country. Basically gets you pretty much everywhere through the high country. Eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And still today, driven properly.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are tracks that are harder, but you really got to have your vehicle properly set up for that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But that's pretty much the majority of, the bulk of, people out there are probably on 33s, I'd say.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
In for mild sort of touring setups. Yeah. That's about where it's at. Yeah. Really.
Yep.
And okay, so Gippsland Offroad, you did that for about 15 years, you were telling me earlier?
Yep.
Yeah. And predominantly just working for yourself, or did you have any people did you have any employees?
I had a couple of staff. Not bagging anyone out, but it's like trying to find the right staff.
Oh, for sure.
I've got a lot of loyal customers that have high expectations.
Yeah.
And you've got to meet those expectations. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard.
You've got to have the right staff to meet those expectations.
Yeah, you either got to spend a huge amount of time training them so they can, your business can provide that high level of support, or you just do it yourself.
Yeah, that's it, and that's what I ended up doing. Just doing it myself.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So 15 years and Carbon Offroad, you saw an email went out looking for a sales rep, and you're like, you know what? I think I've pretty much had enough of being on the tools.
Because I did have enough of, sort of getting to the point, you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
You're missing out on catching up with mates and family and the work-life balance. I saw the ad, and it was when I was talking to James. I was actually ordering carbon winches.
Oh, good to hear.
Fancy that.
Good to hear, mate.
Yeah. And I've known James for a long time, as you have.
Yeah.
And he filled me in, and he said a perfect fit for me, and then I rang you.
Yeah. We had a good chat, didn't we?
Oh, we did.
A couple of hours, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when two blokes who love a chat get together.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. But that was good. Like JD, he's like, look, give Matty a go. Like he goes, I'll vouch for him if he ends up being good. If not, then But look, I think for Carbon, we're a family business, real people. It's important for us to make sure that we're getting, some real people on board, that actually, value what we do. And so I reckon it's going to be, a pretty good match.
Yeah.
Bit of a baptism, you've been up here and getting smashed with a whole bunch of info, haven't you, mate?
Oh, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah. We've even had you working on the car.
Yeah. That's a bit of a work in progress.
Yeah, sorry about that, mate. We've just been under the pump.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, bit of a list of jobs to do on the car. But, and it's an Amarok as well. It's my Amarok. Yeah. Getting you an Amarok.
6 at least.
Yeah, it goes well.
Yeah,
it's a good crew. It's a good travelling car, mate.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we'll get another 100,000 out of that thing.
Yeah, should, I think.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, that's pretty exciting. Just in terms of wanting to, get a quick overview of, where we're at.
Yeah.
You're going to head back to Victoria probably this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah,
Another road trip.
Yeah, got a whole list of things that you got to, whole list of people to go and see.
Yeah,
stir the hornet's nest in Victoria.
Definitely be stirring the hornet's nest.
Mate, I reckon our dealers are going to love seeing a Carbon face in the store again.
Yep.
We're super excited to make this commitment back to, all the crew down in Vic. So
looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And, I guess, what do you think about like the future of off-road? Where do you think we're heading? Like in Australia, what do you think of what are the challenges? What are the good things coming up? We have vehicles, technology, land access. Like where are the opportunities for people?
Land access is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Back down Victoria, they're trying to bring in. Can't even remember what it's bloody called. Some new great national park.
Yeah, Great Forest National Park. That's the one. Sort of strategy.
Yeah, and there's. You ask anyone that's a bush user, whether you're a horse rider, a trail bike rider, a hiker, gold prospector, fisher. There's just not a lot of common sense in what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So land access is going to be one thing. And you sort of got to be politically correct with where you go with that.
For sure.
And that's only come about after the referendum, that voice referendum too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, which has all been interesting.
Yeah.
So what about, obviously, the four-wheel drive industry has a fair, bit of challenge ahead.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, an interesting comment I saw on social media the other day about the four-wheel drive industry and the community, was someone mentioned that the problem with the four-wheel driving industry and community is that people actually don't go four-wheel driving. And I found that interesting because sometimes I struggle to get out. We struggle to get out, every few months. So, we're all passionate about it, but our time, time is an issue. Yeah. So
that is a big factor too. Finding the time.
Yeah.
It's a really weird thing because you got the land access and you got people that time poor. But just touching back on the land access thing too, which is a real big issue that we're facing. And a lot of people in the industry have brought this up too. The amount of rubbish that's left at campsites.
Yeah.
The amount of damage that is done at campsites. It's not just down in Victoria as well. It's up here as well.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah.
That's having a big impact on access.
Yeah.
To areas.
Yeah.
So we can sort of. Well, you can never get rid of the dickhead mentality, but they got to sort of take note.
Yeah, exactly. That is, it's that outward perception, isn't it? It's the physical, the actual the things that people see, and the rubbish, the damage to campsites, the shit behaviour, the hooning.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Don't get me wrong, I love a good hoon, but. In the right context, in the right place, that's where it's at. But and same with up here, places like Ormo, really close area on the Gold Coast has been shut down just purely because of shit behaviour.
Yeah, the hooting.
So and just the local landowners just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So look, I understand, but it's a shame that. As a community, we can't be a little bit more mindful. So anyway, it's a pretty interesting thing, something to keep an eye on in terms of where we're heading.
That sort of, and then that comes back to the family thing, like you're saying. You go out as a family.
Yeah.
As like many people go out as a family. They don't want to be putting up with that nonsense.
Not really.
No.
Especially with someone with young kids now. Just. You're wanting them to have a safe environment.
Exactly. Enjoyable.
Enjoyable. You don't want to be stressed out or having to deal with, that dickhead mentality.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of the four-wheel drive parks are going to become popular.
Yeah.
They seem to be more popular up here.
Yeah. For sure.
Then back down Victoria. I suppose we got more access.
Yeah.
The tracks for time being.
Yeah, well, there's 3 or 4 good parks, on southeast Queensland, and they're all pretty much pumping. Most weekends, they're full. Lucas and the Springs 4x4 park, which Carbon Offroad sponsor.
Yep.
We're up there every couple of months. He's got events running pretty much nearly every weekend.
Yep.
Ultra 4 Series is there. We're getting the race Jeep ready for that. We're pretty excited. We're going to finish here and then we're going to go downstairs and we're going to start ripping into that Jeep. So
cool.
Pretty excited to, get into that as well.
Yeah.
But, just be part of that community.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and with you back down south, hopefully we might be able to do a little bit more to support the, the races and all that sort of stuff down there as well.
Yep.
So, it's going to be good times, mate. I'm looking forward to it. We're just about to. We should finish up because got to go down there and work on that car.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the challenge,
mate. I'm glad to hear that because it's going to be a challenge. And Carbon, we're in a great place right now, mate.
It's quality product.
Yeah,
it really is.
We're excited to we're excited to have just some good cobbers on board and grow the team and get some really good people. And I think the dealers, they're going to love having you down there. So
and it's good quality product, and you got the backing too. Like I'm up here looking at what we can offer as a backup service to the dealers down there.
Yeah.
You've got the parts here.
We've got
parts to rebuild any winches, spare parts, stock.
Yep.
Plenty of stock on hand. We've
got some pretty cool new product coming too, eh?
Very, very cool products coming up.
Yep. We've got some, the brushless winch program.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
And we have mentioned it in the past sneakily, but Australian-made winches, they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
And some other, really cool, some more recovery gear, new recovery kits. We've also got a couple of new fancy products coming. So there's a lot happening, mate.
There is a lot happening.
Yeah, so if you're down in Victoria, stay tuned. Look out for the blue Amarok. We've got, give Matt a wave, flash your lights, moon him, do whatever. Sticker bomb his car, whatever you want to do, get in touch with Matt. If anyone wants to get in touch with Matt, we'll pass on the details. Just come and say g'day. And we're looking forward to having you on board, mate.
Looking forward to it.
All right, cool. Well,
no worries.
Good stuff. Thanks for coming up this week.
No worries.
It's been cool. Been bloody good.
It has. It has indeed.
Let's go grab a beer.
I think so.
All right, mate.
All right.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, mate.